Big topics, big stories, and big news. The Big Rich Show. It happens here.
Hey everybody, this is Ian Garrett and I watch The Big Rich Show on YouTube. Make sure you check it out too.
Tonight on The Big Rich Show, I have independent hip-hop artist Slyide. That's right, Slyide with me, baby. Facing the odds his entire life, this Virginia native is paving his own path, and people are taking notice. Slyide is diagnosed with Asperger Syndrome, also known as Asperger's. It is a developmental disorder characterized by significant difficulties in social interactions and nonverbal communication. That, on top of the fact that he was bullied as a child, makes his story that much more compelling. Standing up for those very kids in his shoes now, he hopes to one day be able to provide a foundation that assists with bullying. Catch it all next. Well, because it happens here. And welcome to the Big Rich Show, everyone. Tonight we got a great interview. I got on the show with me a very unique and, inspiring person. Stephen Wood is with me, but AKA his artist name, and the name I think we're going to probably go by for the entire show, is Slyide. Slyide, welcome to the Big Rich Show, my friend.
How you doing, man? It's good to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been waiting to get you on. I know that I stay busy, man, super slammed, and it's nothing against you or anyone. I know a lot of people, they always are antsy to get on these shows, man, and I'm glad to have you. You got a good story to tell top to bottom, and as people heard in the intro, right now you're chasing a dream, and you want to go ahead and maybe start out, go back to the beginning and where it all started and what turned Stephen Wood into Slyide?
Well, it was actually the majority of the story I'm not going to share for personal reasons, but it all comes down to a friend and, wanting more than that, and the other person didn't want it. You know what I mean? So, like,
okay,
I started making music for that at first, and plus I got autism, man. I'm like, I've never been successful at a real job my entire life. You know what I mean? I try, just doesn't work. So like what I did, I was like, what can I find? I've tried poetry. There's not much money in poetry. What is the other thing I like? And I started thinking about this around 23, 24 years old. I was like, what is the other thing that I really, really like that I can make money at and possibly even do it from home with the occasional doing a show or whatever or going out. And I decided it was music, man. Like that was November 13th, 2016, I wrote my first song that I actually put on recording, and it was a cappella stuff.
Okay.
Just no mix, no, like I didn't even know what mixing was at the time. Just starting out, just singing and rapping, singing quite horribly, I might add. and like that shit, I'm trying to get taken down. I'm like, oh my God, But like, no, man, like I started realizing I could get free beats from places, if I rapped over people's stuff, then I discovered free for profit beats on YouTube that have certain stipulations, like you got to give the producer credit, not restrict the beat to be shared and stuff like that, and to be used. So I started using those, trying to get a feel for beats, get my flow, get my rhythm. Then after I got my rhythm, I started trying to teach myself how to make beats and produce. And I have been producing myself for a very short since December.
Okay. All right. Wow.
December 2019, I've been producing myself, man, and I'm coming so far right now. More on that later.
Okay. Amazing. Yeah. I mean, when you find that you learn how to do this, especially in video and music editing, at first it looks like, holy crap, like it reads in Chinese. But as you figure it out and you start playing with it, man, it's so easy. And then you're able to take full control and you can guide this ship now wherever you want it to go. And you don't have somebody over your shoulder telling you when, where, and how to do it. And that's the beauty of independence right
Oh yeah.
now. And speaking of independence, you are still currently an independent artist, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Always have been.
Always have been. And where are some spots that people can find some of your current music?
Everywhere. If you want to put my music in your video on TikTok, just search Slyide, Slyide.
Hmm.
It's got a couple of my songs on there. You can put my music in your videos on Facebook, and stuff like that. Your story on Facebook. You can put it on your story on Instagram. I'm on Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, Deezer. I think it's pronounced Angami. It's a foreign service. I think it's in Asia. I am out there to 90% of the world music streaming market distribution wise. I use Route Note, and they're great. Actually, for everybody who's wondering, I've got a new single called Fame getting ready to drop here in a week or two.
Okay. All right. That's amazing. Um, and with that said, the music you heard on the intro when I was introducing the show tonight, that is Slyde's original stuff. That's all him. So if you enjoyed that, you're going to definitely enjoy what he has coming and other stuff that he has produced. I know that you were on Mike Simon's show, and you were also on his live radio show. And I know you guys had talked about all kinds of different things on there. Tonight, I want to kind of keep it just about your music and about your goals and where you see yourself, and kind of, what is the motivation? What is the motivation right now that's pushing you more than anything to hit your goals?
Family. My
Family.
motivation is my wife.
Okay. Very
She, like I said before, we're expecting. I'm already got inspiration starting to spark from the baby that's on the way. I was thinking, how, like, one of my ideas, because I've constantly have song ideas going through my head. I have two going through my head right now. One's actually I want to do for a sync placement, but the idea that went through my head was just basically like, man, how can I do this and add that in there? You know what I mean?
right.
Like, it started out like that. And then I started thinking, well, I've got a bunch of beats laying around for the sync placement. Maybe I could do a beat and do like a football song or a basketball song, get on live or 2K or Madden or something like that. I'm working on that currently, thinking that one up, thinking up the lyrics.
Okay. Yeah, like a hype song or something.
Yeah, like a hype song for like a football stadium, sort of like we
Yeah.
will rock it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that, man. I love that. Yeah, keep it going.
Yeah.
Where do you find yourself? Where do you draw the inspiration for some of your songs? Is that coming personal experience, things that you see in the world that you'd like
Some of
to change?
some of it. I can answer that very quickly. Sorry to interrupt you.
Oh, you're fine, man. That's what it's all about. Go ahead.
Like, I'm just very eager to answer. My
Yeah.
inspiration comes from family,
Hmm.
life, and the thoughts that are in my head when I'm writing a song. This is the way I do it. Okay, I set down a pen on the paper. I write that first word, and 10 minutes later, it turns into a song. I could write a song out with the beat playing in 10 minutes.
Okay. Wow.
And the thing about it is that it's whatever's in my mind. Like, I could be sitting in the living room, I could be at the store, I could be at the club. I don't even go to the club no more, but I could be there.
Hmm.
And then I just figure it. I get a thought in my head. I'm going to record this when I get back to the studio, which I've got my own little bedroom studio.
Sure.
And it can be a love song about my wife. It can be about the baby that's on the way. It can be about a friend. It can be me venting against the haters, which I do a lot of that because it frustrates me how much hate is in this industry.
Oh man.
And everybody's got the same goal, but everybody's trying to tell everybody, trying to stop everybody from reaching that goal so they can reach the goal.
Hmm.
It's very dog eat dog. And like, I have a tendency to lash out about the industry sometimes, in
Well,
very subliminal fashions, like very subliminal.
where speaking of the industry, where do you see rap right now, and R&B,
See,
hip hop, as compared to maybe where a lot of people say the peak and the height of rap was the mid to late 90s, early 2000s, and the last 15 or so years it's kind of dropped off.
I see another peak coming. All right, you got to think about it. The '90s, we had Pac, Big. When Diddy first came out, he was Puff Daddy, Puffy. You know,
Mhm.
we had Busta, we had Rex and Effects, we had Nas. You know, we had all those old school acts. Run DMC was around in the '90s too. You know,
Right.
it started in the '80s. You know, but like we had them old school acts that were shaping the industry.
Hmm.
Then we had the Dirty South movement in the 2000s, you know, Nelly, Paul Wall, Young Buck, 50 Cent, all of that. You know, Eminem got big in the 2000s too. Now, for the last 10 years, from 2010 to like 2020 or 2019, it's been trap music.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know, the next phase is not going to be owned by big label artists, because if you go across in the internet and you can literally search, and I remember 3 years ago couldn't find nothing, not shit, man. But in the last year and a half, I have seen new companies popping up all over the internet for independent artists.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, like you've got more distributors, you've got distributors that offer promotion, you've got acceptance only distributors, you've got people that do CDs, vinyl, you know, all kinds of stuff, man. Promotion companies where you can submit a song, get promotion. You can my the publicist that wrote me up at UBO magazine, Eris Schroeder,
Mhm.
her maximum price is $400 for her top service. And it's good service. He's got 19 years in the game. So everything's starting to cater to the indie artists, because they realize as much money as big industry brings in, the indie artist, there's a lot more of them.
Oh yeah.
If you bring them up, that's more money for everybody, you know. And that, I see the transition going to a different phase in rap. It'll be more, you know, descriptive. It'll be more personal.
Hmm.
You know, it'll be kind of a step back into the '80s and '90s in a way,
Hmm.
but also a transition because of the fact the new market is the independent artist.
Sure. And I
And
like
all,
the way you
go
said
ahead.
that just a second ago. I didn't mean to interrupt you as well. As you said, it's more going to be more personable. And I can see that because with indie music, you're able to reach people that are wanting to hear your style, what you have to say. And in the past, they would have never had access to your music because the big boys controlled everything. They
Yeah,
stepped on the necks of everyone who wasn't on their label. Now, as an indie artist, you're able to reach that genre of people and that group who, like you said, it's almost like when they listen to your music, they're getting a personal concert every night from you.
yeah.
You
And
know?
like the underground movement's always big, but damn, man, it's getting really big now,
Hmm. Hmm.
and it's only going to get bigger.
Right on, right on. Yeah, I agree with you on that as well. Um, where does Slyide see himself 10 years from now?
If I have my way in life and I get many blessings from the good Lord above, and he continues with what he's been doing right now, 10 years from now, I'd love to be sitting in Cabo with my wife and my growing child that's going to be born soon. I'd be sitting there with a margarita. She'd have whatever she wanted, you know,
I like that. I like it.
and, you know, I'm relaxed and I'm chilling, and t- turn the phone off, turn all outside communication off, nice vacation, sitting on a good at least 600 grand.
I love
You know,
it.
that's where I want to be. You know, I want to have it's the 600 grand isn't for me. It's for emergencies. You know what I mean? You never know what's going to happen. House
Just
fire, something like that.
you can enjoy life for what it was meant to be.
Yeah.
Live every essence, feel every breath.
Yeah. I want to travel.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
I want to have the money to, if, you know, I'm a smoker. I was smoking at the beginning of the show, smoking cigarettes, you know? If I want to go to the store, because, you know, for all my life, it's been always my needs and not my wants. And some people can understand why I want money. Others will call me greedy. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Or not humble.
Mhm.
But I don't want money for myself. Yeah, the most I may want on a daily basis if I've got that much money is like a 40 ounce and a pack of cigarettes just to chill with,
Mhm.
you know? And like, may want to go to the store, might want to get something to eat, you know? It's
Mhm.
been hard. Haven't had the money for too much extra my entire life. I want to know what that's like.
Absolutely, man. That's commendable. Yeah, people don't realize, man, when you're nibbling on cheese and crackers, and all of a sudden you get to eat steak, you want to see all the different steaks that are out there that they have to offer, man. You know what I mean? That's what I tell people. I say, man, when you're nibbling on cheese and crackers, bro, and you get to taste the steak, man, you want to taste the steak in every damn country across the world.
Hell yeah. And see, I made a promise to my mama. My mom has been there through everything my entire life.
That's good, man.
I stay with her in her home, to help her with things she needs help with, because, family's family, man. People crack on me for it. No, I live with my mama. I got a wife and a mom that cooks it in the same house.
Man, I'm envious of that one. I miss I take
Hell
care
yeah.
of my mom still right now, man. My mom's my biggest fan, dude. And right now, she's she's legally blind. And I take care of her like she took care of me. But man, you put her in the kitchen, she still throws down, man. And
Oh yeah.
man, I love
She's
mama's cooking, boy. Ooh.
my mom and my wife Carolyn have been my biggest supporters. Every single time, because I've almost given up like 3 times since September or October.
Right.
Because bad things kept happening one after one. I ran into scammers in the industry. People that were involved with some big people really did some dirty shit to me. 2 or 3 times since August of last year.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, like it's not October or September, more like August,
Right.
because I first started talking to one of the people in August. And like they did me dirty all the way up to the end of the year. And then I hit 2020, man, and I've been rolling, dude. Like it's like it says, you got to go through the pain before you can get the blessings, man.
That's true, man. I'm gonna tell you what. You stumbled across some good people, man. When you fell up on my fan page and me and you talked, and then I turned you on the mic, I knew that it was gonna be good things for you, just from the networking there. But it's good for you to network all over. I mean, surround yourself with like-minded people, people that are gonna help lift you up, not step on you and put you down. Because we're all in this. I know myself, Josh Morris, Mike Simons, Twism. Everyone that we deal with, we're about uplifting. Uplifting not only ourselves, artists, other people. Vanessa Hogels, Gwen Clappers, um, you know, Lisa Michelle Ryan, my SMM, Donna Gorton, she's a psychic medium. She has a show on Facebook. These are all people that are a part of my life that I consider family. And I tell people, blood, you don't have to be blood to be family, because sometimes it's the people that aren't your blood that are going to be the best to you, unfortunately, nowadays. Because I've had more family do me wrong that's blood family than I have that people that are just that I have met throughout life. And they're more like my brothers and my sisters than my own brothers and sisters, if you can say
Yeah,
that.
me and my mom only associate with a couple people in our family. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because like the rest of the family just staying good people, man.
yeah.
And that I ain't gonna go into details. I ain't gonna name drop nobody. I'm just gonna say it's best that they stay where they're at and we stay where we're at. You know what I mean?
I hear you, man. I hear you. Now, let me ask you a question too. If there was one artist that you could work with and do something, one collaboration song, who would it be?
Eminem,
Eminem.
Marshall Bruce Mathers III. Yes.
Slim Shady.
Yep. It would be him. That's dude. Like I said this on the Anything Goes project live interview when Mike Simons on FCR247.com. Like I said this to him. I was like, Eminem has helped me through just with his music long before I became an artist. Back when I was just a music fan, I wasn't even thinking about making a career out of music. I grew up most of my life. I'm 32. I've been grown age-wise for 14 years.
Right.
And I was listening to him in my teenage years in high school. And high school's tough. Like I said, I got autism, and like I was different. I got bullied a lot, stuff like that. He provided a vent to say what I wanted to say without having to say it.
Yeah.
He said basically everything I wanted to say to those people about the hate and the mistreatment and everything else that those kids treated me like in school, you know?
Yeah.
And like it grew into that as an adult too. He became more and more an event of event. And he actually helped me stop committing suicide. He prevented me from committing suicide twice
That's amazing, man.
just by listening to his music.
That's amazing. I mean, people forget too, his early stuff was really heartfelt, man. I remember the first time I heard him, I was in Memphis, Tennessee. It was 1999, maybe 2000. And I was like, who is this? And then a partner of mine, I was working for Miller Brewing Company. He's like, yo, that's a white boy. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, dude. He said, Dr. Dre is putting him on. I'm like, there is no white rapper out there that sounds this good, dude. I said, he is. There's no way. No way.
And he's been that good for 20 freaking years.
Yeah, dude. Like, and you know what's funny is I was listening to him last night. I was coming home from work, and I had the song Godzilla in.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God! Holy shit! That song.
Dude, I sent that song out to like 10 friends in Messenger when I first heard it. I'm like, guys, if you don't do anything, just close your eyes, pull over, and listen to this song. I said, because even when he goes flame at the end, you can hear coherently every sentence that he's speaking. And he is going so fast that it was almost impossible. And
Yeah.
it's like,
I heard he broke a Guinness World Record or something.
yeah, I mean, that's when he has the label Rap God. I mean, you can't. And then all these other artists now, the old schoolers are trying to get on him. Dude, Eminem carved rap for the last 20 years and put it where it's at. If there was no Eminem, rap wouldn't even be where it's at right now. And I'm not saying that he is the, well, maybe I am saying it. And I'm not just saying it because I'm white or I'm biased, but he's got to be the best of all time. He is right up there to me with the Tupacs, the Biggies. I mean, as far as like, if you want to, when you go with, I like to call him, man, he wields a word like the old time swordsmen wield their swords.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a wordsmith, man.
He brings a whole new meaning to the term. The tongue is sharper than a two-edged sword.
Yeah, man. And then if you don't listen close, you won't catch a lot of his stuff. Like I'll have to stop it until even my son will be riding with me. I'm like, did you just hear what he said? He's like, no. And then I'll say what he said, and then I'll play it back. It's like that one. I think it might even be in Godzilla, or no, it's in the one where he's talking about shooting up the stage when he's got the gun. But he goes, some of them are going John Travolta, staying alive by inches. Because my son's like, why would they be, some of them crawling around like John Travolta? I'm like, dude, did you just hear what he said in the second part? Staying alive. Who was the guy who starred in Staying Alive? John Travolta. You know what I mean? So he's like, these people are moving like with John Travolta's dance moves and staying alive by inches. And I'm like, the way he word plays is just so.
That's some deep shit. Yeah.
I mean, it makes you think.
What was that one off the same album? The one song with Ed Sheeran in it.
Oh yeah. I know.
I can't remember the exact words, but it's something along the lines. I haven't listened to it in a while. Something along the lines of, she said, no, what is it? He said, are you straight? She says, no, I'm bi. She goes, are you drunk? He says, no, I'm high. He says, I'm checking out the chick. She says, so am I. You know what I mean? Like the words that he puts together,
right?
You would never think them up in a million years. You know what I mean?
That's the same song, I think, where he's like, but that doesn't make me gay, but I'll be up in this. I'm wanting head, but I'll give her cunnilingus. Just the way he spits that, the way he's throwing that out there, people are like, oh, snap.
Yeah, it's dope, dude. It's really dope. And
he's definitely a wordsmith.
Sorry, I'm walking through my house real quick.
You're fine, man. So with that said, we talked about you would like to do an album with Eminem. or a song, a collab. I'd like to hear that. That'd be sweet. I'd like to see you and Twism throw something together because I know you guys can make that happen soon. And then
I want to do that. I want to work with Twism, dude, for real. You got a cigarette, honey?
have you, Twism, and then have Ian do the singing the breaks. That would be a legit song.
I gotta get to know about this Ian person, like, for real. Like, who's this Ian person singing?
You got to check him out, man. I interviewed him. He's on one of my videos. It's Ian Gerwin. He's in Cali right now.
Yeah.
Independent R&B artist. The dude's got a voice, man. He reminds me of Michael Jackson and Prince, dude, wrapped into a Mariah Carey. He can go high. I mean, when we get off tonight, man, go check out, I think it's therealiangarin.com or something like that, and listen to some of his music, man. His stuff is on fire. You would dig it. I know you would.
I'll end up looking it up. I will definitely do that. Yeah, I want to get on track with Twism, man. Like, I've listened to a couple of his tracks, and he got a flow, for real. I've been actually wanting to hit him up about that.
I love some of his songs, man. I just like, I bump them all the time. I just really started getting into yours. So when I'm rolling around, man, yeah, you guys are always on. Ian, now you, Twism, my nephew out in Memphis, Murder Hill Mafia. They got some good stuff coming out, man. Ooh, they got one that's called Cowgirl. Man, it's like bow, bow. And but man, it's so good. It's something about a cow. They're riding her like a cowgirl, and like a cowgirl riding the bull in the bar. And
I wanted to note a couple things real quick if I get a couple minutes of time slot.
yeah, it's all you, man.
All right. There's the Woe album, WOH, WOA, my bad, WOA. The Woe album, it's all my distributors. I left that up purposely because that was recorded on a cell phone in January of 2019 because I didn't have a computer at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized I was literally, the first way I started mixing was on a cell phone. That's how I learned to use mixing controls at first and learned what they did. I was like, if the songs don't come out right, I'm going to put them out. I want people to see my progress. They can hear where I started. They can hear where I finished. You know what I mean? And like, once they hear where I'm at now, they're like, dude, this dude seriously taught himself to produce in like a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? And like, the programs I use, I started off with Soundtrap, which is an online browser DAW. Wouldn't mind being sponsored by them, but they're owned by Spotify, which is a big company.
Right.
But like, and Spotify don't sponsor nobody, you know. But then like, the other one I moved on to is PreSonus Studio 1.4, and that's where I make all my beats. I'm actually PreSonus Studio 1.4 Prime. I'm using the free version, and the only thing that's killing me with that right now, I ain't got the cash for what do you call it? I'm looking for sponsors possibly from PreSonus because I want to get the full version, the Studio One Artist. You know what I mean? Studio One for Artist and all that. It's a very good program, very easy to mix, very easy to match BPMs. Producers will love it. PreSonus is very underrated.
Have you started a Patreon account?
I have a Patreon account, but I never really did anything with it. It wasn't me. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
Like the way I'm going right now, I've got 250K listeners coming up. I'm gonna be aired too, and with free promotion once a week as part of the deal with Pose Radio. You know, that's 250,000 extra listeners a week or month, whichever one you want to look at it. And then I'm getting airplay on FCR 24/7. And I'm trying to think. I think it's BDS or something like that. It's I can't remember the name of the radio station. It's a partner with y'all.
I know. Oh, you're talking about BMS Design?
Yeah, not BMS Design. The other radio station.
Yeah. 90. No, I know what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, I actually sent one of them an email and have been talking to them briefly on Messenger, and the other, I've been talking with about setting up an appointment date. So.
Right on, man.
So I'm getting out there right now, you know, and it's you guys, you and Mike and Twiz, y'all opened that avenue for me.
That's what it's about, brother. It's about uplifting, man. And you got a unique story, you know. It's like people, and I don't like, because I look at you like just another brother, man. But people, you gotta realize, man, where Slyde's coming through. Slyide has he he has not only lived a life with autism, but you know he's showing that nothing can stop you as long as you got the drive and the burn in your heart. You can never use an excuse. Oh, well, I've only got one leg, or I've only got two fingers, or I have autism, or I'm in a wheelchair, or I'm blind. You know, anything is possible when you set your mind to it. And that's what even makes Stephen Slyide Wood's story even bigger to me. But I don't like to bring that up because to me, you're just Slyide, bro. It's you. You're just another brother right there. You know, you're no different than the guy that sits next to me on the bus. We're all, you know, everyone is born different, but we all bleed the same. So,
Yep.
you know, and when people realize that is that we're all one species, all one love. And if we would just learn to uplift each other instead of stepping on necks, the world would be a beautiful place.
Oh yeah, man. Like I said it in an interview with Mike Simons, man. I was like, the world needs more love. People need to start loving each other again.
Yeah, man.
You know, like it don't matter if you're black, white, Asian, Hispanic, you know,
Yeah,
European, Australian, you know, it African, it doesn't matter, man. We're all human beings. And
absolutely.
imagine what the world could be if everybody stopped the hate, the selfishness, the pointing fingers, the labeling, the stereotypes, you know, of what people should be and what they should act like, and, you know, how they should talk and the things they should do and how they should carry themselves while they're doing them. You know, there's too many standards.
Right.
Let people be people and love them for who they are. My mom came up with a great thing. She said it came from my grandma also. If the whole world was blind, they would have a way to not like the sound of somebody's voice.
Mm. Wow, that's so, dude. That cuts to the bone because it's so true.
Yep.
You know, and that's sad. No, man. Wow, yeah. Man, I'm having a blast with you tonight, dude. I'm glad you came on. It's getting to that point, though, man. Everyone that comes on the Big Rich Show, you got to run.
The Gauntlet of Five.
Are you ready for it? What it is it's 5 questions. They're yes or no or one word answers. And then if you feel like elaborating on any of the 5, you can elaborate on them after I ask them to you real quick.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yep.
First one. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Yes.
Okay. Do you believe in aliens?
Yes.
Okay, I like it. Do you believe that we have been to the moon?
No.
Okay. Do you believe that the earth is flat, round, or as Neil deGrasse Tyson says, pear-shaped?
Round.
Okay, I like that answer. And we're going to do this one different tonight. For number 5, if there was any one person in history from the day that God started creating that you could go back and spend 1 hour with and just talk, sit there and talk with them one-on-one, any time in history, who would it be?
George Washington, our first president.
Okay, I love that answer, man. That is a great answer. Well, there we go, folks. Slyide slid right on up there with boom, 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 direct answers. He didn't have to think. He went through the gauntlet of 5 and was rocking it, man. So there we have it. He believes in Bigfoot, as I do. He believes in aliens. I do too. He believes the earth is round. I do too. Though I think sometimes it could be maybe a little flat every now and then. He believes that, what was it? What was the other one we did tonight?
If we've been to the moon.
Oh, yeah. And he also, like myself, believes we have not been to the moon, that was all just a bunch of beep. So, are any of those that you'd like to touch on, or maybe explain, maybe even to the folks, why George Washington was the guy you chose?
George Washington, well, I got to think about it. The man was one of the greatest leaders in history. He was the lead general in the war that founded the greatest nation on the planet Earth. You know what I mean? We
Absolutely.
are, we have been around, and even though we weren't around as long as, per se, Rome or, Greece of the ancients, like the United States has been the superpower in the world for a long time,
Mhm.
you know? And it took a rebellion and a bunch of people and a banding together behind great leaders like George Washington to freaking get this nation founded, fought for, defended, and built.
Absolutely, man. I couldn't have said it any better. I did a special back last year when I first started doing these shows. It was called um, "The Unforgotten Names of 1776." And we talked about little less known names of generals and people that were influential in that during that time, 1776. And we also went deep on George Washington, and I learned a lot, man. This dude was a great military mind, probably one of the greatest in history. And a lot of people don't know this either, that for every 10 soldiers that George Washington had in his personal military, 3 were African American.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying that. So you got to think about this. This man, for every 10, 3 were African American. So if he had 300 people in his platoon, you see where I'm going with this? That
Uh-huh.
means that 30% of them were African American. And that's where, and then people are like, oh, George Washington, he was just a racist, this and that. The man, he took and he commanded the best and only the best, because there were also Native Americans that were in his personal military as well. And people don't realize this. They think, like, the common person, if you thought George Washington, when he was leading it, you would think that his personal army of 300 were all white, when actually white was the minority of his militia, because he trained them differently. Um, and only the best would qualify to march with George Washington. And that is something the history books failed to teach any of us. That's something
They-
people learn, though.
How many sneak attacks? If you look back in the Revolutionary War, the American Revolution, how many sneak attacks was George Washington and his army, his personal army
Mhm.
that he was commanding? How many were they actually directly involved in? A shit ton of them.
Yeah.
They saved the war more than once with surprise attacks.
And how did they make it across that icy, foggy river and lake? I mean, they had to have divine intervention of some type.
Yeah. Yeah, because it was cold. They were on water. The water had slush in it. You know
Oh, yeah,
what I mean?
without a doubt it did. And then it was so foggy, they said you couldn't see a foot in front of you.
Imagine the dedication and the strength of the soldiers to push those boats,
Yeah,
to row them. You know what I mean? Through the water with all that ice building up in there and everything.
yeah, absolutely.
It's almost an act of God. Like he was behind it.
Yeah, something. And I was like, it had to be it had to be the Lord, or something was guiding him that specifically that night too, to the Potomac. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, man, that was a great answer. But I'm glad you brought that up. Memorial Day is getting ready to come around here again too, isn't it? So
God bless our vets. Thank you for your service.
absolutely, man. Each and every one of you, past, present, future, fought in every war. Uh, you know, nothing like being an American, man. Greatest country in the world.
Yep. I gotta take a second to shout out a sponsor.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Uh, right now, I'm doing some promotional. I'm in a promotional partnership, with the social media website for musicians, fans, and professionals. The social media website for
Mm.
fans, musicians, and professionals. ClickJam, KLICKJAM.com. They have an app on iOS and Android. Go check them out. They're sponsored by Molly Vodka, upcoming vodka company out of Canada.
Yeah, I definitely checked that out when you linked it up, and I was like, "Ooh, wee, this looks interesting, man."
They're rising, so they're gonna be there. They're just getting all the pieces in place right now, man.
Right on, right on. Well, we're about reaching that hour mark, man, on the end over here. Is there anything you want to let the people know that I didn't touch on tonight? We kind of just shot from the hip tonight, folks. I wanted you to get to know this man as an individual, as a person, as Slyide. You know, this is Slyide right here. Bam. This is what you get. The guy has a deep mind and he writes good music, and you got to check it out. But I want to give you these last few minutes. If there's anything you want to do, any shout outs, if there's something you want to let the people know about you, or anything that we didn't really touch on tonight, any promotions, any new songs coming up.
I got a song getting ready to drop here in a week or two. It was just approved by the distributor. Had to go through some red tape for it, but got it done.
Okay.
And it is called Fame. It's going to be dropping worldwide on streaming platforms within the next 2 weeks.
Okay.
Okay. I have 2 other singles coming up on that, including a feature track, but they're still in. We're working to get them out right now.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm searching for sponsors. I need sponsorship. I've already got a sponsor, for merch. That's Click Jam.
Mhm.
So like not my merch, but their merch.
Mhm.
Okay. So like the deal with it is like I'm looking for sponsors that are paying. It don't have to be thousands of dollars. I have connections in the industry from down here to up here with different price ranges, anywhere ranging from $200-$300 to $20,000. It just depends on who you go through.
Mhm.
So I don't need a lot of money. I've got the connections, I should say,
Mhm.
all in rotation, ready to go. I'm trying to get my name out here. My fans are important to me. The more fans I have, the more confidence that gives me to make music. Things that have been going along here lately have boosted my confidence. I want to keep it rising. So if you like my music, share it, man. That's all I ask. Please share it with a friend. If it's only one friend and you're at the house drinking a beer, just be like, hey, listen to this guy. Even if you don't like it, play it for somebody else and make fun of me, because for every person you make fun of me playing it for, one or two of them's gonna like it.
And I'm gonna secretly play that shit while they're riding.
Yep, your haters are your greatest allies.
Absolutely. Do you have a centralized Facebook or website of your own that people can follow you?
You can find me on Facebook.com/Slyide, SLYIDE, with WITH, yo, YO, boy, BOY. You can find me on Instagram at Instagram.com/Slyide Music Official, SLYIDE, on Twitter at Twitter.com/Slyide Music OFF.
Right on. And you can also catch his music at FCR247.com. And
And soon to be Pose Radio.
that's right. And soon to be Pose Radio. And don't forget, folks, I'm going to throw a little shout out. The Big Rich and Little Lisa show every Sunday night live at 7:30 on FCR247.com, the Fat Cat Radio. And we will be having Slyide join us here probably towards the end of the month on a live show on FCR247 as well. So stay tuned for that. This will be coming out prior to that, so that's why I'm giving the shot. And brother, thank you for coming on, and thank you for being patient with me, man. I know that we've.
Thank you for having me, man. It's been an honor. I got to tell you, when I first got on the video calls, like, this guy looks like a real talk show host. He looks like a real one, Like Mike was the first one. He looks real.
Right.
Then this guy's like, he looks real. It's not these little 2-bit 30 views of a
Right.
YouTube video, blogs, or interviews. These are the real deal. So like you carry yourself very well, man. And I appreciate it, and I'm glad that I got to do this, and I can't wait till the live interview.
Yeah, we're gonna. I mean, dude, you're gonna get out there. Our fans. I've got a pretty good fan following. My Facebook and Instagram and social media reaches a couple 100,000 a month. We're trying to grow the YouTube. YouTube's slow as hell. They make it so hard to grow for content creators, but I still upload stuff to there. We get anywhere from a couple hundred to 1,000 views on YouTube, but my main bread and butter has been Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. And it doesn't matter but where it's at, because, and my website is phenomenal. People go directly to BRRS-MEDIA.com, and it's all under one thing there. And I list all the interviews, post and past, videos, upcoming, who's coming up in the future, merch. It's all there. But it's guys like you who keep us going, because we're all trying to reach for the top. And as long as we keep uplifting each other and helping each other up, brothers in arms, we're all going to make it. And you're not going to just be sitting there with your wife and your soon-to-be, is it a boy?
Girl.
Okay, little girl, soon-to-be little girl. I'm sorry. She'll probably kick me when she hears this when she's older. Little girl, when we're all sitting there, we're going to be joining you. Me, Mike, all of us, we'll be on that same beach with you. We're all going to be toasting success, because we uplift each other as brothers in arms, as I always said. And I'm going to end that with everybody, you know how I do it here on the Big Rich Show. The Big Rich Show. God bless, stay safe, and have a wonderful night.
Slide with me.
Since I